What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the special edition of the Ominus show. I'm having guests on the show now. All right, this is great. Um, Hold on, let me share the screen. My guest is not here yet, and it's not his fault. I just sent out the link, so I have no idea when the guest will be here. But yeah, so. This is a special edition of the Ominous Show, and we are. I normally do the show. I'm going to continue doing the shows on Thursday. So this Thursday, I will be on again. So we have two shows this week. So this show is focused on our guest, who should show up any second now. Just to give you some information and just some updates on what's been going on with Ominus. All 5 pages have been digitally scanned and have been finished in terms of the inking. So I will be revealing that on Thursday. Please tune in Thursday at 11 at this exact same time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in on Thursday, and I will reveal that art. So we have that art reveal. I'm working on getting together a sign-up list. So that's the next thing, which is the sign-up list, so you guys can start signing up and getting ready for Ominous, which is, let me pull that up. And just give me a second. Looking for the ominous stuff. The ominous stuff. Here we go. So if you see that here, this is the book I'm hoping to launch. The tentative date is at the end of July, sometime at the beginning of August. But this is the comic. It's called Ominous. This is what I'm working on. And in this particular comic, we're going to see this character, Zadok, take on this big monster called the Deathmonger. And it's a 10-page story where we see them fighting. It serves as a preview for the graphic novel that I'm working on. I'm currently on page 5 of that graphic novel. I'm going to continue drawing and getting more pages done. So I'm going to be launching this in the meantime. And so this hopefully will be available at the end of July, the beginning of August, around that time. I have a date in my head, but I have to put things, things have to get done before then. So some things I'm still like a little iffy on. So hopefully we can get that. I can get that situated. So yeah, that's the date. The first thing that I have to do is get the sign up list. So I'll have that hopefully next week. If not this Thursday, then by next week I should have that sign up list. And so yeah, I'm sorry for throwing everybody out of whack. I have a special show today, this Monday. I don't want to step on Katie Did's toes either. Shout out to Katie Did. She's currently streaming right now. I popped in the chat. She's got she had Mike Barron on there for a little bit. So if you're not tuning in here to go check out Katie Did, no problem. Hopefully, I should have thought about that before doing the stream today, but I forgot. So anyways, so let's bring on our guest. I haven't had this person on in over 2 years, I think. Last time he was here, we were talking about his book. Let me see if I remember, because I don't think it was Embrace. Was it Embrace? I think it was Embrace. I don't know, but we'll find out. Yeah, we'll talk to our guest for today, the esteemed Michael Oden. So let's give a big round of applause. What's up, man? What's going on?
Nothing much, buddy. How are you doing? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a long time, man. It's been quite a while since since we've had the pleasure of chatting. I've been just drawing, trying to get better at art, and trying to
Well, you're
improve stuff.
succeeding, man. You're growing leaps and bounds.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying my best. I think I'm at the point now where I can put the comic out, and I think the pages so far have looked nice, have looked decent. So I am at least happy with what I got so far. So I'm happy there. So we'll see if the people like it. Hopefully they'll like it. If not, then
that is the hope, right?
Hopefully, yeah. If not, then we'll just keep trying and then see what happens with something else. But yeah, I think the Embrace was the last thing that you were here for. No, you were.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that was the last time I was on. Maybe SPQR, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I was thinking about that also because I don't. Yeah, I think you had SPQR like right after Embrace.
I wouldn't say right after, probably about a year.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so it's been a while. But it's always a pleasure to see you, man. Thank you very much. I remember last time though there was a controversy because back then you gave us a very eloquent, a very articulate breakdown of the flaws with Isom and how he was such a bad character, and it was a very passionate talk.
So then I had to have been on after the Embrace because Isom came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At this point, so yeah. and the Embrace was three, maybe even 4. Yeah, it's 2025, so 2021 was the Embrace. All right, so
yes, that much after.
I went after Isom hard, and I think that a lot of my thing was, Eric had kind of at that point was running a lot of his platform on commenting on the state of quality in the comic book industry, right? Like it was all about how the story and the art and everything wasn't there. And so if you're going to critique that, that's all well and good, but you need to be able to back it up.
Yeah.
Right. Like your book needs to be on point when it comes out, because otherwise you're going to be the butt of the joke. And so a lot of people were defending the book as, I thought it was really solid for a first outing. You don't have the luxury of I thought it was very solid for a first outing. You started a war with people who write for a living and draw for a living. They buy ink by the barrel. You don't go and kick that hornet's nest and not expect to get stung.
Yeah, that's true. He got stung really bad. He continues to get stung.
Well, yeah. I don't know if you could say he continues. Like at the end of the day, he has a very strong and very passionate base that will carry him. And it doesn't matter what anyone else says. The guy is constantly putting out more product, and his audience is able to meet the demand. So he at the end of the day, Eric's kind of living the dream that most of us want to live. In terms of all of that,
in terms of the numbers, yeah.
Well, not just in terms of the numbers. He's got a base that really supports that they genuinely care about his stories, and they allow him to keep making those stories. Yeah. Hold on, sorry, I think my camera is going wonky, so I'm going to turn that off. I apologize. I was just seeing myself going all glitchy across the screen, and it's like a huge pet peeve of mine. But anyways, the point is that like he is at a point where he could, if he reduces the page count of his books and marks them down to like $5-10, he could go into monthly circulation, and his audience would be able to support that. And I think that that's an incredible thing. Do I personally like his stories? No. I felt Isom was not good. I did not get Isom 2. Somebody had sent me a digital scan of Yaira. I read about 10 pages before I went, this isn't my cup of tea. and stopped there. I'm not going to spend money on a brand that I don't particularly care for. But I think that if there's anything Eric does need to do, is he needs to get better at taking critique. He gets very hot-headed very quickly about the failings of his books from genuine professionals. And I put that in excessive bold marks because there are also plenty of people that go after those books, regardless of whether or not they have a professional career, that are doing so out of bad faith. And it's more about drama and stuff like that than it is actually critiquing his books.
At this point, all the comments is really hard to see which one's which. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of hate towards him, and there's also a lot of honest opinions towards his stuff. And like you say,
absolutely.
he takes everything as an attack on him and his company,
and I
his
think
persona.
that's something that he needs to do better about, because the red pen is your friend. And if you really want to grow in this industry, you have to be able to be open or honest and sometimes brutal feedback. If you failed, you failed. Failure is nothing but a starting point to go up.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And we've seen that. And I mean, hopefully, I don't know. I think at this point in the game, he's going to continue just pushing back and doubling down on what has been doing. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what his gain is from all that, because if he wants to minimize Comicsgate and people are here that critique his stuff, how does that benefit his company? I mean, I have no idea, but
I mean, at the end of the day, I think that there is enough infighting in the Comicsgate or former Comicsgate space, whatever the hell you want to call it, because it's a mess. And I honestly just see it as, right now, the focus needs to be indie comics and just push forward on that. I mean, that's where I'm at with it effectively. Because there are so, like, I have found that I've been doing this for 5 years now. And I have found that, I come, I promote a project, I take some time off to fulfill and mentally decompress. I come back and it's like a nuclear bomb has gone off. And this goes beyond Eric July. This goes beyond anyone. This is just the nature of indie comics is incredibly volatile, and everyone's a freaking prima donna. I don't really get it. But, at the end of the day, indie comics will persist. And so we have a really good commentator. To be honest, he, like all of us, has earned a right to defend his work and rebuttal against anyone who critiques his books. I disliked a few of them, but enjoyed others. In the end, everyone reacts. Yes, Creatorverse, and I agree to an extent to he has a right to defend his books, but I also think that there are times where he isn't listening to very sound advice. I think the one time that really stands out in my mind was Joe Catapano was trying to give him some insight into some of the book, some of ISOM #1's art failings. And Eric July's reaction did not look good. That's just coming from me. And granted, I have a bias there. Joe Catapano is a good friend of mine. Star Circuit, great looking book, great written book. It is a far better product than ISOM 1 is, in my opinion. But, he does have a right to defend his work, and that is his right. But I think that what it comes down to is that at the end of the day, the consumer is the consumer. And if they are telling you that they don't like something, and it's widespread, and people are being vocal about the fact that they don't like a particular thing that you did in that book, that's no longer you defending your work. That's you being blind to a pretty unanimous criticism of something that you failed to do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people, especially these YouTubers and influencers, who look down on comics and comic creators. And to be honest, if you look throughout time, many people have looked down on the comic medium in general. There have been many movie writers and script writers, screenwriters who have said, "I can make it in the comic book business. There's nothing to it." They write their movies and they write their comic books stories to the comic book medium, and they fall short. This has happened a lot because people tend to underestimate how comics are supposed to work. So it's not like anybody can do it. Anybody obviously can do it, but not everybody is going to be good at it. So there's things and there's places where people can improve upon, and if you're not open to any kind of critique, people are going to see that. People are going to say, you know what, this guy is just being too closed-minded about his critique. Why bother? So, and then people tend to flock away. But I mean, to his stance, he does have an incredibly big fan base, not garnered from comics. He's got his fan base from his political stuff and his music and other things. And so there are diehard fans who would buy a Rippaverse popsicle if he sold it. So I mean that's he's got that aspect to it, and to a certain extent,
he is more of the product than the book is. Absolutely, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And you know what? All power to him. Because he's found his angle and what have you, and just because that is the truth doesn't make it it doesn't mean that he isn't also very earnestly trying to build something. And I think that he is. I don't necessarily it's not how I would go about it.
Yeah.
But and creator versus at this point, everyone has too big of an ego, and humility goes a long way from all sides. So while I agree his critiques are fair, so are his reactions. I mean, I agree and disagree to that. Like I'd like to think that I am a pretty humble person. Like I don't mean that as like a humble brag or the Drax moment or anything like that. I very much, every single time that I get any sort of feedback, positive or negative, I'm very grateful, and I take every single bit of insight into account. One of the earliest reviews that I got, which was for the original Elysian Fields issue 0, was done by a guy named Inch High Comic Guy. And that is the most important review that I've ever gotten in my career. He gave my book a 2.5 out of 5 stars. He said that the writing was good, but the art failed to do what it needed to do because I was overtaxing my pencil artist with too much work. And as a result, the art didn't meet where it needed to be. And so I learned. I took that and I applied it. A while back, I was working on a book with Global Frequency Studios, Neff and Kim. I went through 9 drafts before my final submission. 9 drafts. If you tell me something's messed up, I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to take your feedback into account, and I'm going to apply it. And the fact of the matter is that with creatives in particular, that's not in their mindset. Now, I have the advantage of I come from a military background, right? I served in the Army for 6 years. There is no such thing as the perfect mission. You go through every single thing, and then you go at the end, and you have to give 3 sustains, 3 improves. You have to look at ways to be better. And so I'm never at any point thinking that I am putting out the absolute pinnacle of perfection. Even with Elysian Fields Reborn, I am very proud of this book. I am sure there are mistakes. I am sure there are things that we could do better. I know from a production side, there are certain things that I want to do better on the second book in terms of streamlining timelines and everything like that from a logistical and organizational standpoint. But like at the end of the day, I think that it's one of the things. And Creativerse, I am in no way thinking that this is in any way you taking shots at me. I think this is a very healthy conversation.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, while you're at that, I want to congratulate, or not congratulate, but shout out to the people that are coming in from the chat. Bionic Bruz here, and he says, "Being first commenter on in the chat is more to me than all the wealth of, if my pronunciation is correct,
Ilium.
Ilium." Okay. And then assimilating knowledge. What's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. Hail to the chat. Thank you for coming here. And then Creatorverse. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, it says, to be honest, he, like all of us, have earned the right to defend his work and rebuttal anyone who critiques his book. I dislike a few of them, but enjoyed others. In the end, everyone reacts. And he says, at this point, everyone has too big of an ego. And goes on, so I agree. But critiques are fair, so are his reactions. Yeah, definitely. That's also true. The reactions say a lot, no, to how he takes those critiques. No? And then assimilate knowledge says, cult of personality works until it doesn't. And then Creator finishes with, still love your work, by the way, and we'll be backing this as well. And
Thank
then
you so much.
Assimilate knowledge says, for sure. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, sorry, so you wanted to finish your idea, or let's take a look at the book, or
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So this is Elysian Fields Reborn. So is this like a reversion, a remastering of?
This is a complete Stem and Stern reboot.
Okay.
I did this initial series back in 2021.
Yeah.
Had some success with it. Also had some failures with it. I always wanted to come back, but there didn't seem to really be a market for it because there wasn't excitement. And then I want to say like 2 years ago, I got a couple of messages asking when the next Elysian Fields was going to be. And by that point, I had kind of resigned, like, all right, I'm not doing this book anymore. And once I had people reaching out, and I also saw how well it had done over on, like I had posted the original copy of it up on the Webtoon platform, and it had like 5,000 reads, over 100 subscribers, and an average rating of 9.78 out of 10. So like once I saw that, I was just like, okay, well, I guess I need to come back and do this.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, because some people tend to lean towards maybe that one IP that you didn't give much attention to. No, sometimes that happens, no, or the characters, or something like that.
This was always like
really good.
This was always the thing that I really loved, but like everyone was way more interested in the Embrace. Everyone was way more interested in the other stuff that I had going on. So that's where my focus went. And that's all well and good. I think that I actually needed that distance and space, because what it did was it gave me experience that I needed to go back and really make this the book it could be.
Yeah. So for the people, so there's people out there that have the original part of this one. And any differences, apart from the art, like any other differences?
Major. So like, as I said, it's a Stem and Stern reboot. I would say that if you have the Zero issue, the bones of the Zero issue are there still in this. But this is a very different script. I went through and I touched up a lot of things. There's very few things that are still the same as what they were in the original. And I think one of the most noticeable changes right off the bat is if you had the original team was comprised of Theseus, Heracles, and Achilles for Team Hades. That is no longer the case. I took out Theseus and replaced him with Hippolyta, who was one of the queens of the Amazons.
Right.
So, and she's been an absolute blast to write, and we actually just today made the announcement because we just funded this morning.
Sweet, congrats.
Yeah. So we are doing a Hippolyta spinoff called Song of Hippolyta, and I revealed a page of art that is from this 12-page character profile that serves as a prelude that is technically going to be a part of the second issue of Elysian Fields Reborn.
Yeah.
But if we hit the 6,500 stretch goal, we will be allowing people to purchase a very exclusive limited print run ash can that collects this prelude with its own like special cover and everything.
Nice. And Yeah, who's the interior artist for this?
So on this, it's Will Juarez, Tiago Gomez, and Lou Winter and Ruvian handling the color work.
Right.
On Song of Hippolyta, it's all being done by this amazing artist that we found on Instagram called Codessa, or Codicea, I should say. And she's absolutely fantastic.
Nice. And so you're like, how do you go? What is your process for looking for artists? You just scan for what you, an art style that you find on Instagram?
Well, so like each project has kind of its own identity, right?
Yeah.
And so based off of that, I kind of determine what kind of aesthetic I want the feel of that world to be. And thank you, Dave. Always good to see you, friend.
Yeah, Dave's in the chat. What's going on, Dave?
Like the big issue, like the big thing at that point is, determining what you want the aesthetic to be. And so like for the Embrace, I wanted it to have that kind of 90s like 90s homage style and really play into influences like Symbiote Spider-Man, Spawn, The Darkness, Haunt, like all the Crow, all of that stuff played into that.
Nice.
And so that's why I found Dean James. For Judex, I knew that I wanted to have this kind of, black and white Sapatone film feel. I wanted it to feel like an old black and white movie, and that's how I found Fabrizio Ugolini.
Yeah, Judex. That was a nice campaign.
It was so good. It was such a blast working with Neff and him over there. I'm excited to get back to work on that at some point. I'm looking forward to doing book 2. And then for Elysian Fields, I was playing Darksiders, which obviously has the art direction by Joe Mad. And I was like, you know what? That, like, having a kind of Joe Mad art style would really freaking like amp up Elysian Fields. And so that's what I went and I ended up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I read from this art. Yeah. That's exactly what I read from the art. Like the art looks very Joe Madish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Excuse me. It looks good. I dig it.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Sweet.
Yes.
But yeah, and yeah. Now, is this for people that like reading about mythology, Roman mythology, Greek mythology? Is this faithful to the stories from those books, or is this like your take on these?
So
stories?
it's not. So yes and no is the answer to that. So the fact of the matter is that this story eventually has all of these characters interacting in a underworld arena. It's Mortal Kombat with heroes and mythology. So on a micro level, the individual characters are written as I interpret them from their source material, right? So like it's me trying to evoke the Achilles from the Iliad. It is me trying to evoke the Heracles from mythology and this, that, the other. It's me doing what I can to bring those characters to life in a faithful way. And their stories that you are getting in their backstory and what have you are pulled straight from their myth. So in that way, it is absolutely authentic.
So you're faithful to the characters, but not necessarily to the story the way it's written in the book.
Story and everything like that, yeah. But like the big thing is that I have all of these characters in a proverbial toy box, playing with them and having them fight one another. So in that way, it's not authentic. Like you are never going to have a story where Achilles fights Gilgamesh the way that you see in this.
Okay.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's like, I mean,
Okay.
from what I'm reading, from what you're saying, is that you're faithful to the character as it's depicted in the story, but not there's he's not like the events in the story are not what we see on the pages. You're putting them in a different setting, taking on
Yeah.
different characters and
So
having fun with them. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So effectively, our story starts off, and Achilles, we see his final battle at Troy.
Yeah.
So we see him die. He goes down in the underworld, gets a little bit of a respite, is enjoying some peace when he's taken out of that and brought to this arena where he has to fight alongside Heracles and Hippolyta against heroes from various different cultural mythologies. So, like,
Right.
when he gets there, Heracles and Hippolyta are mid-fight against Gilgamesh and Enkidu from ancient Sumeria.
Crazy.
So,
Nice.
it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like you get to see all of that, and the way that I write each of these characters is based on how they are presented in their respective myths, right? Like, Gilgamesh is incredibly arrogant and full of himself. And
so it's faithful to the name Elysian Fields, because if I'm not mistaken, Elysian Fields is the name for like the afterlife, like heaven type thing. In
yes,
mythology.
for the Greeks specifically, their version of heaven, if you will, is the Elysian Fields. That's where heroes are supposed to go when they die.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Okay, so we have so this is set in like the heaven of the Greeks, and then there's like a bunch of fighters
Kind of.
here, and then they get
So-
thrown into. It sounds
So
great. I like
there's this thing in my story called the Abyssal Tournament of Champions, where every single respective god of the dead puts together a team of heroic champions from their respective cultures to do battle in an arena. The winner of this tournament becomes lord over the underworld for the next period of time till the next tournament. And so Hades has his team, which is Heracles, Hippolyta, and now the newly brought in Achilles, who's our narrative focus. He's our protagonist. And Achilles is going to be fighting heroic characters unlike anyone that he faced in his life that are going to challenge him in completely new ways.
Nice. That sounds great, man. I like it. I dig it. I dig it. And I know that you're a big history buff, Roman the Empire and mythology and things like that. What books would you recommend for someone to read to get an idea or a hold of like how this story goes? I mean, we got the Odyssey. No, what other books would you recommend?
Here's the beautiful thing. So I don't consider this a story that you have to do a lot of homework to go in. Yeah. You get to meet these characters, you have fun with them, and they play the roles that they play. If you're interested, but then like the cool thing is that if you're interested in learning more about them, you can always go and look up their stories and take a look. So like if you really like my version of Achilles, like if you really like Elysian Fields as Achilles, go read the Iliad. Go read ancient, like go read Homer and see how they stack up. See if he's see what he's like, you like how Gilgamesh and Enkidu are together as a team. Go read Epic of Gilgamesh. That's the beauty of it, is that in a way this book serves as a way to upkeep these stories and heroes that are so intrinsically important to our cultural DNA and subconscious.
Yeah, definitely. Sweet. So the Iliad. Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I think has there ever been like a movie or a book or an adaptation that you've seen that has been faithful or great or to the extent
the
that
Iliad? No.
Or to anything from Rome? Has there been any book that you would recommend? Anything that's
so there have been a couple of books that I've really enjoyed. Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller is very solid. I have some issues with how she handles a couple of things. But overall, I really enjoy that book. I would say if you've ever watched any of the Fate series, Fate Zero has a great interpretation of Gilgamesh in terms of his characterization. His design is very not accurate, but like it's anime, so whatever.
I think Gilgamesh makes an appearance in the Lucent.
Yes, he does. He does appear in the Lucent.
Is that accurate?
Yeah. Bancroft pretty much just reenact the way that you see his character, his version of Gilgamesh portrayed in, I believe it's The Painted Death. The second book is pretty much just ripped straight from the poem. Gilgamesh is mourning the loss of Enkidu and is having issues confronting the concept of death. And so he's trying to find a way to escape death. And that becomes like the central focus and parable of the story from that point on.
Sweet. Yeah, sounds great. I want to say what's up to Marinus. Marinus is in the chat. What's going on, man? Good to have you. Tank is in the chat. Tank says he's almost done with his Achilles fan art. Are you having a fan art contest?
So we weren't having a fan art contest. We were on. I was on Don Draw's stuff on Saturday, and they were all like Don was like, "What character do you want to draw?" I was like, "Dude, just pick one." Like I have 3 protagonists.
So many.
There, just pick one and have fun with it. And so Tank picked Achilles and was really crushing it. He did a really good job.
Sweet. I look forward to that. Yeah, man. Shout out to Don. He does his draw streams. He does it more often than just once a week. I think he does it like twice a week. And good stuff, man. He draws a bunch of characters. Great work. Great work. Man. And what's going on in Marinus? He says sounds like nerd stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the Fate series is fun. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fascinated by the Roman history. I'm fascinated by Greek mythology, Roman mythology. I like how they tried to personify gods and then give them these human flaws and then their interactions and stuff.
It's not just Greek or Roman. It's you get to see all sorts of different things. So like I'm working. So this is going to be like effectively my ongoing. So I'm finishing up the scripts for the first 5 issues that make up the first storyline. And like in issue 3, you get to see Vikings, like Norse heroes fighting Japanese heroes, samurai. So you get Viking versus samurai action, which is freaking epic.
You should get some Incas in there. We got Inca deities, also Peruvian deities, Incan deities.
So I'm trying.
I'm gonna try to put some in my
Mesoamerican, like messing with the Incans and Aztecs, everything like that is so difficult because the rules of the tournament are very specific that they have to be human heroes, and y'all motherfuckers don't have history or mythology outside of like your specific gods, and I can't have gods in the arena.
Well, what is it? So okay, all right, yeah.
So like
Samurai Cat will take them all.
In book 3, for the Vikings, you have Sigurd, Brunhild, and
so you're not including like Oden, Loki, these things.
So we have gods that show up. So like obviously Hades plays a big role in the series. You'll get to see Freya shows up because she's the representative of the Norse pantheon that we get there. Like you get to see you'll get to see a whole bunch of these different kind of deities lurking around. Like it's just one of these things where you don't, in terms of who's fighting in the arena, it's the human champions, and there's a reason for that, and it plays into the larger part of the story, as to how gods continue to persist. So
Nice, sweet. And and so Embrace is the other IP that you got, and then what, SPQR, Judex, all of these books are ongoing series also.
So the Embrace
You're,
is
you're not taking out any book to keep working on this. No, I mean, everything's going to move forward.
Yeah.
Sweet. So any news on a next Embrace issue for people that
so
are...
the Embrace 2, we will be hosting a Kickstarter for here at some point here soon. At the end of last year, Dean had a series of unfortunate events where he got very sick, and then his tablet went down, so he lost a lot of work he had been doing on the Embrace 2. So he has been having to redo all of it and then keep going. So we're a bit behind on the Embrace 2, but he's chugging along. We're hoping to have the art done by the end of this month or next. So that's
the art's not done yet. I thought that was
sorry. As I said, but I'm working hard on the script for the Embrace 3. So hopefully by the time that's done, we should be able to get some things moving on that. As I said, first 3 issues are completely done for Elysian Fields Reborn. I have a issue
like the art, everything is done for the first 3 issues.
No, the script is.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, the second book is being worked on currently.
Right. They're drawing the second book right now.
Will is Will needed some work, and so I hooked him up, and so we had already done the first 6 pages of the of Elysian Fields book 2 to give a preview at the end of this book. But yeah. So by the time this book comes out, that gets out to people, we'll probably have about a third of the second book.
And how far off in advance do you have to assign these projects to artists? Because I think people don't understand or appreciate like how much time it takes to do this, and how much work and preparation goes in before we even get these campaign pages. How long beforehand? How much time beforehand did you start the project?
I mean, it really just depends. Sometimes you have to do some planning. Other times you luck out and your artists are just free. And so it's just a matter of financing and having some capital to put in there right off the bat.
Nice. So how many pages is this story?
This story in particular is 44 pages of story. When you include the 6-page preview and the graphics and everything, and from cover to cover, it's 56 pages. It's printed in an 8.5 by 11 prestige format.
Sweet. And of the 44 pages, how many has the artist done?
This book's done.
He's already done. Yeah, so that was my question. How far in advance did you have him start on this?
I mean, we started on this about a year ago.
A year ago, wow, man!
And
44 pages.
We would have had it done sooner, but I didn't have the money to drop all at once. So we've done it in bites over the past year.
I think that's best. Because I've seen so many people pay everything up front and then get ghosted. No, I think working in segments. I think
the important thing there is A, contracts, B, establishing I have for Elysian Fields, I have a group chat that's got all of my artists in there. I check in with them once a week when we got art going. I would like to think I'm a pretty effective project manager.
That sounds great. Yeah, nice, sweet. And then so that's the great thing. When you're a writer and you get to direct, where the efforts go. You get people working on Elysian, and you got people working on Embrace, and you got people working on Judex. And that's great, because it's a lot to do. It's a lot of work. Writers or the people that are behind the scenes with the campaign pages and all that stuff, you guys take a big load off the artists, because because it is a lot of work, and you're doing the rounds. Now you're going to all these channels to promote the book. Everything's
I
great.
try.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great, and it's what's needed to make this a success. Otherwise, it doesn't get funded, it doesn't get done, and then people luck out. So yeah, it's great. It's great that they're doing what needs to be done to get the book out. That's great.
Yeah.
And then we got Miranda in the chat.
Yep, that's the fiance. She's hanging out.
Oh, all right. Congratulations. Excellent. Very nice. Congratulations, Miranda and Michael on the engagement. Sweet. I'm assuming all the backers are going to get invitations to the wedding.
Oh, absolutely. That's totally how that's going to go. I do hate to jump off. I have just gotten a message. Something's going down over here at work that I've got to go take care of.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Apparently, today's just the day that I had I had this stream scheduled, and now all of a sudden everything's popping off when we don't have anything going on any other time. It's a Monday, but
no problem.
I really appreciate you having me on. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming and hanging out, and thanks for the support. At 6,500, we have a pretty cool stretch goal. Our next stretch goal is, I think, at 35, and that unlocks the Hype Man sticker. So that's very.
Is that on the page? Is that here?
Yep. If you scroll all the way down to the stretch goals, you will see the Hype Man.
Oh, yeah, that's for school.
So,
I wanted to ask you about the art also. There's no worries. A Hype Man sticker.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, there he is. The Hype Man.
Nice. I got that.
I can answer. What question do you have about the art real quick, and then I'll pop on.
No, how did you go about getting what's the name? Ken Marion? He's a professional artist, I think, right? He's working.
Yeah, he works with DC Comics and everything. I reached out to his art rep with some interior pages and the main cover, and they were very enthusiastic about getting involved after that.
Sweet. That's awesome.
V's a great guy as well. Loved working with him.
Yeah, Neff got him for this project also, I think.
Yeah. But I will catch you guys.
Yeah, no problem.
I will catch you guys here in a bit. But thanks so much for having me.
No problem at all, man. Thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you for giving us your time.
Will do. Cheers.
Take care. Be safe. What's the name? Naysayers or people that would speak negatively of Michael would say that Miranda came and got him. I don't think that's the case, no, Miranda. You didn't take him from us, did you? But if you did, I understand, because sometimes that has to happen. It's all right, no problem. But yeah, the art looks great. I had a lot more questions going on, but I didn't get to all of it. We got this piece is what I used for the thumbnail is artwork by V. Ken. I don't know how to say his name. V. Ken Marion. I don't know. But the guy, I've seen him around. I've seen a bunch of his art. He does really good art. And that's actually a pose that I was going to play with my character, but I guess I'm not going to do it now. But yeah, good stuff here. I like the designs. Yeah, the artwork looks very, Joe Maddish. A lot of exaggerations and very expressive. Good stuff. And there's a digital tier. I'm not a big fan of it being on Kickstarter. I would be much happier with it being on Fund My Comic, but hey, who cares what I think? It's whatever's in the best interest of Michael Oden and the creative team also. So yeah, man. So you guys, the link for this is in the description below. I don't know if the mods can put the link in the chat for people that may want to back. I know my boy from Creatorverse, he backed it also. So yeah, man. Yeah, he just backed. Also, glad we were able to get one person to get it. GG's. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But yeah, so I'm going to end in just a moment. I don't want to step on Katie Did's shoes, or toes, fingernails, or really polished stuff out of it. But I did want to Yeah, but I'm trying to find something to show. Just give me a second, guys. Just 1 second. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I'm currently working on the sign up page for this comic Ominus. So hopefully either this week or next week, I'll keep you guys updated. But soon I'll be able to post a link in the chat for you guys to sign up to get your hands on the Ominous comic. The first 5 pages of my graphic novel are done. They're fully inked, digitally inked. I've made all the touch-ups that I need to make. There's just one more thing that I have to do, which is add in a map, but I will add that in later because I have to still finish the map. So it's just minor things. It's just close. It's like 90% done. What's going on, Omer Glitch? Omer, I'm gonna need like a character sheet or a design or a page of your character Glitch, because I'm going to be drawing him. I'm finishing up a piece that I wanted to do for my comic, but now the next piece I want to do is the Glitch character. So please hit me up on X with like a character sheet or a design so I can see what he looks like, and I'll draw him out. And please, when you can, also, if you can send me a high res of your fan art, because I would like to include it also. I don't know if you already did. I think you did, but for some reason I can't find it. Yeah, man. Hopefully, I think you guys will dig it. Hope you guys dig it. I'll show you on either Thursday or next week. I'll show you I'll show you the pages all. I'll show you the pages all digitally inked and everything looking nice. So look forward to that. Now I have another guest coming on Thursday. I have my friend here, Assimilating Knowledge. I'm going to pick his brain about what the heck he's doing with his campaign. I'm sorry, with his YouTube channel. And he currently created his YouTube channel. He's he's inviting different guests on. If you are a creator and you would like to be on the show, please hit him up on X. And yeah, he's a really great guy. I was on his show not too long ago and had a great conversation about Ominous. Oh yeah, he had to dip out. I'm sorry, Jen says I had to jump on a work call, catch the rewatch. I'll have Assimilating Knowledge on Thursday. This Thursday I'm having Assimilated Knowledge on, and we'll talk. Marinus, I don't know if you're still in the chat. I would like to have you on also if you're available. Hit me up on the DMs or I'll hit you up. So I'm going to have Assimilating Knowledge on this week. Next week, I'm going to have another guest. Then I have a CG King that's going to come on the show. Yeah, man. And I will announce that as we get closer to that date. Yeah, man, hit me up. Yeah, hit me up, man, and I will do a piece. It's gonna be like a bust, like something. Hold on, I'll show you. I'll give you an idea of what kind of art I'm planning on doing. Like a fan art piece, something like this. Wait. Like a torso type thing, like torso above, something like this. That's what I have time for. Something like that. I don't know if you can see that. Something like this. Yeah, thank you very much, man. I'm a fan of your work also. I hope you do that. I hope you do like glitch sequential work because that would be nice to see. And this artwork that I'm showing off right now is called Jarl Horfist. He's a character from a comic called The Saga of Sunsets by my friend AC Pritchard. And I did this fan art for him also. So fan art of his character. Like I did a big bicep forearm right here. Some legs. He's got legs, obviously. And then his face. Just something like this. So you can get the idea of the character. I think this piece came out great. I like it. I dig it. And so yeah, I like how I did this. I'm gonna do something like this with glitch. Put glitch on. Some dope beats. I thought for the longest time that this guy's nose was just like pushed up, like a vampire type nose, like pushed up. But if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw Pritchard or someone or something information in the chat saying that, not in the chat, but in the campaign, they're saying that his nose got cut off. It's just like the cartilage part just got sliced off, and so I was like, oh, if it were that, then I would have done this in a different way, because the way I got it looking here is like his nose is pushed back, so the like the skin part is like getting pushed up, so it looks something like that. And so but yeah, so I'm gonna close it down in just a second. I have an ash can. You have an ash can. Oh, if you don't mind, please. Is that for sale or is that still? I don't know. But if you have images, well, send me whatever images you got, and I'll get to work on that. I think I'll start that next week. So I'll start next week, and then hopefully in a week I'll finish it. Hopefully, or 2 weeks. I don't know. But yeah. So while I'm working on this sign up link page, I'm gonna be drawing that. So I'll come back with you guys with that, and yeah. So you guys be on the lookout. Let's take a look at some ominous art. Hold on. Man, I can't find my stuff. I can't find my stuff. All right, here we go. I'm going to show this off, and then I'm going to close this the thing, the thingy thing. Yeah, so that is the cover. That is the Virgin cover. That's the main bad guy of the whole story. His name is Necronox. He makes an appearance in this short 10-page story that I got. He makes an appearance. This is the character Deathmonger. Glitch did a really nice fan art piece of him. He's like the main prominent character in this story that I want to crowdfund. Here's the colors. There's a picture of Deathmonger. I'm very sure that this is going to be a cover, and so I think this will be a dope cover. Just have Ominus at the top right here over his arm. Yeah, I think that's going to look great. And then these are pages from my book. All these pages, for example, have been scanned. They're all scanned, and they have all been tweaked and corrected. There's a few things that I had to correct in digital that I had completely forgot. So I think I'm getting too anxious with the art. I think I just need to relax and just take a deep breath, because there's mistakes that I'm making that I probably wouldn't make on a pinup. Just to pick one out. You see this guy getting his head blasted. We see his head. We see his torso. We see his right arm. Where the heck is his left arm? Crap. I forgot to add the guy's left arm. How you gonna have a left arm? The heck, what's going on, man? And so I had to go back in digital and add the left arm to that. There's also a design element to this suit here that I forgot to add. And so these are just mistakes that I'm making that I don't know. I think I'm just too nervous or something. I'm getting too overwhelmed by what this book means to me. I don't know. But I've made those corrections, and so the pages look great in my opinion. So you'll see that Thursday, and then yeah. So hopefully you guys tune in Thursday, this Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Central Time. Take a look. And Omer Glitch says, I might give away the Glitch Ash Can for free on my website. Still thinking about it though. Yeah, I would. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know that because because giving away stuff is not a good idea. I would recommend selling it. $5 I think would be, I don't know what the book looks like, but I think $5 I think sounds like a good price. That's what I sold mine for. I'm telling you what. And Dave, when I get my link together, I would like to be on your show, Dave. When I get my link ready, I would like to be on your show and then talk about this book and then answer all these questions and more questions that you may have. And but yeah, he says, what does Deathmonger's mask look like from the side? It's like a skull mask thing. So it's like if you were to do this and he turned to the side, that's what it looks like an African tribe mask, something like that. Where it's, like, I don't know how else to describe it, but yeah, I think I have a side view of a picture of it. Yeah, like in the, I guess it wraps around. Why do I say that? Because hold on. I'm thinking right now, did I draw him? One second. One second. Computer's going crazy. All right, I think I got too many things popped up. I don't want the computer to die. Hold on, little tree. Hold on, little branch. Stay strong, branch. Stay strong, little branch. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I have a side view of the character, and I do in the book, but it gives you the impression that it wraps around. Yeah. All right, take a look at this, Dave. If you have any questions, take a look at this. This is the cover, and on the cover you see Deathmonger from the side. So that's an indication. And the way I drew it here, it wraps around his face. So I don't know. I guess it just changes. I don't know. And then I also have, this is the sequential artwork, and then here we also have another side view, and then again it looks like it wraps around. And so it's like a mask, but then it wraps around like this, like Wolverine. Yeah, like Wolverine bone mask. Yeah, bone mask. Yes. Dave is trying to destroy my comic one question at a time. I see you, Dave. I see what you're doing, man. I'm just kidding, man. But yeah, thanks for the questions. The more questions, the better. Too excited. Looks up. Thank you very much, man. I hope you like it. I hope you dig it. Ominus says free digital giveaway, and I might do physical ash cans for sales. Yeah, that's the exact same thing that I'm doing. It's the exact same thing. This thing that you see here is 10 pages that I scanned. I got it colored and I got it lettered, and I put it together as a digital file. I sold it for $5 a few years ago. Now I want to sell it in a physical format because I had a bunch of people ask me, hey, I want this in physical. Do you have it in physical? And at the time I said no, but now I'm going to work on it so I can get it made physically. And so I'm going to launch a campaign for that this year. So yeah, do that. Make it digital. Get some feedback, see what people think, and then I think there's a market for this right now. I suspect. Hopefully there is. If not, then I'll probably have it as an add-on, or I'll probably have it as an added story at the back of the book or something like that. But a campaign's success or failure is not going to stop me from continuing to create. So if I make it or if I don't make it, I will still continue drawing Ominus from now until the day I die. So just look forward to more stuff. And Dave says, "Cool design, dude looks powerful." Yeah, man, that was the idea, and I'm glad that people are getting that idea from him. So that's it. Thank you very much to everyone in the chat. I appreciate it. Please go ahead on over to Katie Diz channel. I have no idea how to do that raid thing, but I'll figure that out. I'll probably ask Katie. And yeah, you guys have a great one. I will see you on Thursday. This Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be here with Assimilating Knowledge. So that has been the Ominous Show. My guest had to bounce for reasons unknown. I'm just kidding. My friend had to bounce. Michael had to bounce because he had stuff at work. So yeah, just play this back so you can see what our conversation was like. And this is me looking for Michael Oden. Exactly. That's exactly what's going on. So yeah, so you guys have a great one. I'm going to leave you guys with the trailer for Ominus. You guys are going to be seeing a lot of this trailer because I'm going to be promoting the crap out of it. So you guys enjoy it, and I will catch you on Thursday. Have a great one. You guys be safe. Wait, I almost forgot. Like and subscribe. If you don't like the video, then it's not going to get shown off everywhere. So please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Okay, now I'm leaving. Thank you very much, Dave, for reminding me. You guys have a great one. Peace out.